An explosion at a natural gas facility near Plymouth sends 5 people to the hospital and forces the evacuation of everyone within a 2-mile radius. We're live near the Oregon border with team coverage tonight.
I'm Fernanda Lopez. Emergency responders were quick on the scene this morning to make sure everyone stayed safe. I'll have more on their efforts coming up.
And I'm Don Grenice. Many of those people not only heard the explosion, but they felt it. Coming up, I'll take you inside the shelter where all of those displaced are staying.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Shane Ettinger. We're live at the Benton County Emergency Management Command Post near Plymouth.
And I'm Meredith Boggs. It was a very scary morning for people living near the Williams Northwest Pipeline facility in southern Benton County. A pipeline burst, shooting out shrapnel and rupturing a nearby tank containing 1 billion cubic feet of natural gas. Now, Shane, can you tell us exactly how this happened?
Well, good evening, Meredith. Yeah, what we know at this point is that there was an explosion, as you mentioned, inside a building at the Williams Northwest Pipeline facility. Now, that explosion sent shrapnel into a huge storage tank that was containing liquefied natural gas. That caused a leak in the tank and set a large cloud of fumes into the air. Now, we know that 5 people were injured. They were sent to the hospital. 3 were sent to local hospital here in near Hermiston, and 1 was sent to Portland with suffering from some burns. Now, first responders evacuated everyone within a 2-mile radius of the facility. They were all sent to the fairgrounds in Hermiston. Now, I have Captain Devin Helen with Benton County Fire District 1 joining me right now. And Devin, what do we know about the evacuations right now?
The evacuations are still in place. Williams brought in a helicopter.
Fernanda Lopez was one of the first reporters on the scene this morning. She's been covering the story all day. Now, Fernanda, walk us through the timeline of events this morning.
Well, that's right, Shane. When I first arrived to the staging area, first responders had just set up post, and this is how it all went down. Just after 8 this morning, well, Shane, I'm told there could have been anywhere from 300 to 1,000 people in the area at the time of the explosion before the evacuations.
All right, Fernanda, thanks for that report tonight. Now, this Williams Northwest Pipeline facility employs about 18 people here along the Columbia River. We want to give you an aerial view. We were able to capture some pictures from a helicopter this afternoon of the facility. We want to give you a better idea of the size of it. The facility has 2 large storage tanks that are each about 90 feet tall. As you can see from some of this video, you can see where the explosion happened and the damage that it caused to the building where it happened. And also you can see the ring of white material around one of those tanks. And that's where the gas leak has happened. And as Captain Helen mentioned, there is still a threat to the community. Williams is working to dissipate that threat at this hour. Now, as we mentioned, all of the evacuees were sent to the fairgrounds in Hermiston. We want to continue our coverage right now with Don Grenice. Don, you've been over at the shelter in Hermiston today, speaking with some of those people who were evacuated from their homes. What did they have to say?
Well, Shane, as you know, the time of day that this happened, a lot of people were heading to work, already at work, some of them just drinking their coffee, waking up. Most of the people that I spoke with today explained it as a giant boom followed by a frantic escape.
It felt like a big sonic boom.
Many of those people were just completely scared. They were glued to their phones, actually, looking for the latest updates. A lot of those people were on our Facebook page, and when they saw the post about those the 5 workers that were injured, they told me that their thoughts are actually with them. As much as they needed to evacuate, they're actually very concerned for those workers.
All right, Don Grenice, thanks for that report tonight. Now, we want to let you know a little bit more about the Williams Company. They have a long history in the natural gas business. They've been building and operating natural gas and petroleum pipelines around the country since 1908. And over the years, the company has gone through multiple expansions and acquired several other companies. It's now become one of the largest transporters of natural gas in the U.S. And the Williams gas pipelines deliver approximately 14% of the natural gas consumed in the U.S. Now, on this map that you see on your screen, you can see one of the pipelines that runs through the Northwest. You can also see there are 2 other pipelines that run through the southern and eastern portions of the U.S. Their 3 pipelines serve more than 30 million homes around the country. Well, as you can tell, this is a story that continues to develop by the hour. For the latest information, you can be sure to follow our Facebook and Twitter feeds. We have been updating them constantly throughout the day. We'll continue to do that throughout the evening. Now, this is the latest from the Emergency Management Command Center here near Plymouth. Right now, we want to send things back into the studio to Meredith.
All right, thank you, Shane. Well, you can, of course, stay up to date on our website at NBCRightNow.com.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tracy Dial outside live in Kennewick to start the newscast, where you can see all around me the snow from yesterday still sticking around. Now let me show you. It's almost snowball material, a little bit dry, not quite there, but we're getting there. But it's something that you don't really expect to see here in the Tri-Cities. I mean, we have snow berms. It rarely ever snows here, so to have this much is quite the experience already in February. It seems like we're going to have quite a bit more snow coming, so we'll go to Tim Adams right now to see how much.
Oh yeah, I'm here to tell you about that new snowstorm that's coming into the area. First though, let me show you on satellite and radar where this new storm is right now. It's been snowing all day down in Portland, and maybe you've seen some of the stories down there.
Thank you, Tim. And all this snow left a big job for city crews to clean up the roads and keep everyone safe. We have Jane Sander live in Richland right now to show us a look at what they did there to keep everyone safe. Jane, how are the roads looking right now?
Tracy, main arterials like this here on Gage Boulevard are pretty clear right now, but let's take a look at some of that snow off the roads. It's a couple inches deep, as you can see here, and my feet are sinking in a little deep here. And that's the type of stuff that crews had to work to clear up all through last night and on through today. Now, if we get another batch of snow overnight, you can expect street crews to be out on main arterials like this, cleaning things up overnight to make sure that you can see that pavement and not a thick layer of snow and patchy ice. Live in Richland, Jane Sander, NBC, right now.
Well, thanks, Jane. Now over in Yakima, the city says they only plow when the snow reaches 3 inches or more. They would plow major roads or any streets near schools, hospitals, stop signs, and hills. A spokesperson for the Public Works Department says they used a de-icer on the streets in preparation for this storm, and they were out salting and graveling today. People we spoke with say the drive to work wasn't too bad this morning, as long as people slowed down and used caution.
But there were a few cars slipping and sliding because people drive a little faster than they should.
It's a little bad this morning, but as the day's gone by, the sun's melted a lot of it.
The city says the sun helped out a lot today and cleared the streets. The Public Works Department says employees and plows are on standby for more winter weather predicted to come tonight and tomorrow. And speaking of that, we'll go back to Tim now with a look at some weather pictures you sent in of this beautiful snow.
Well, thank you, Tracy. We got a lot of really neat pictures, and we invite you to join in on the fun and go to our Facebook pages and enjoy those pictures too, and give us a view of some of the photos that you're picking up out there. Hey, let me show you this first one here. This one comes to us from Stephanie Ellerston, and it's the Columbia River from the Columbia Park area. So you had the snow and the rocks and the river not frozen over in the main areas, although I was down there today, and it definitely is frozen over around the little, the shallow areas around Bowman Island. Here's another nice view from the park. This comes from Nancy Daniel. It's fresh snow on the Canyon Lakes Golf Course in Richland. They got several inches of snow up there, by the way, and in some areas we had as much as 6 inches of the new white stuff. And then the crystal blue skies out there today. Hey, here's another really neat and pretty one from Mike Carroll. Took this picture of the beautiful morning after all the snow last night and the clouds cleared out, and then it just kind of looked like a winter wonderland out there. Our last one is from Bailey Dyke, who says that she got out there with her mother last night trying to catch the sparkly snow as it was coming down, and shared this nice photo with us. Perhaps you have some other photos that you can share with us. Join in on our weather conversation. Go to our Facebook pages, and then you can upload your own photos or share some that other folks in the neighborhood are picking up out there. We're back with a little bit more of that weather information in a minute, but now let's go back over to Tracy.
NBC Right Now, your local news at 5.
The man involved in a weekend killing spree in Las Vegas is no stranger to law enforcement here in the Tri-Cities either.
911, where is your emergency?
For the 2821 hotel at North Steptoe, there's a girl trying to stab me.
This wasn't the only call made from a prank caller in Kennewick who finds himself once again in jail tonight.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Shane Ettinger.
And I'm Meredith Boggs. A man accused of going on a killing spree in Las Vegas on Sunday has ties to the Tri-Cities.
Police in Las Vegas say 31-year-old Jared Miller and his 22-year-old wife killed 2 police officers and another man on Sunday. Afterward, Amanda Miller shot her husband several times and then turned the gun on herself. Kennewick School District records show that Jared Miller attended Kennewick High School 1 semester during his freshman year in 1999. He also has an extensive criminal history in Benton County. In 2001 and 2002, he was convicted on multiple charges, including theft, harassment, assault, and obstructing a police officer. Investigators in Nevada are now focusing on the Miller's Las Vegas apartment to learn more about a possible motive. Officers say they found volumes of written and printed racist and anti-government literature. Neighbors have told investigators they believe Jared Miller had a desire to overthrow the government and to kill police officers. Investigators say the Millers shot and killed officers Alan Beck and Igor Saldo while they were sitting down for lunch on Sunday.
They placed a Gadsden flag, which is a "Don't Tread on Me" yellow flag, on the body of Officer Beck. Mr. Jared Miller then pinned a note to Officer Saldo that basically stated that this is the beginning of the revolution.
Afterward, the couple walked across the parking lot to a Walmart while yelling about a revolution. Amanda Miller then shot and killed another man, 31-year-old Joseph Wilcox. Officers say this will be a long and difficult investigation.
Locally, a Kennewick man is in custody accused of making threats against law enforcement. Kennewick police today went to 38-year-old Keith Eric Breyer's home at 1620 South Dayton Place after officers say Breyer made threats on Craigslist to kill police officers. Police obtained both a search and arrest warrant and went to his home this afternoon. At first, Breyer refused to come out, but after the SWAT team surrounded his home, he surrendered.
You are not anonymous when you are online. There is ways to find out who you are and where you are. And if there's a crime committed, law enforcement will track you down.
Breyer's 6-year-old son was with him in the home and was returned to his mother. Washington Elementary School was also placed on lockdown for an hour until Breyer was arrested. A prank caller in Kennewick has been in and out of jail lately, accused of making at least 26 fake emergency calls to dispatchers starting in December. We brought you this story last month, and since then, Fernanda Lopez has been working on getting those calls and learning how these kinds of situations affect how law enforcement can do their job.
Meredith, I've been listening to these calls all day, and they're not what you would first think of when you talk about prank calls. Throughout the calls, you can tell dispatchers started catching on, and I'm told officers had to be sent out every time. Just take a listen.
And where's your emergency?
Torres is listed as an inmate right now on the Benton County jail roster, apparently for unpaid fines and a warrant out of Franklin County. He was also previously charged with several counts of wrongful use of a telephone. Live in the newsroom, Fernanda Lopez, NBC Right Now.
Thanks, Fernanda. An overnight fire near Grandview could cost the owners of a farm equipment shop hundreds of thousands of dollars. It happened along the 3200 block of the old Inland Empire Highway. Don Bernice went there today to speak with the people who called 911. Don, how did this fire cause so much damage?
Shane, the couple that rents from the owners who live just feet away from the building say the popping sounds of flames woke them around 11:30 last night. Stored inside that building was equipment. The fire did start inside the building at the back of the shop, but it's not yet known what actually caused it to spark. Live in the studio, Don Bernice, NBC Right Now.
Thank you, Don. Being the victim of an armed robbery can be a very scary experience. We got a behind-the-look scenes at the recent robbery at a Yakima coffee stand. Late last night, the Mocha Tree coffee stand was robbed by a man who claimed to have a gun and appeared intoxicated. Chris Luther joins us live outside the coffee stand now. Chris, they've been robbed before, but how was this time different?
Meredith, this same Mocha Tree was robbed just 2 months ago, but this time was different. The robber actually entered the store and terrorized employees. The owner of the coffee stand showed us the video of the robbery in hopes that someone can identify and bring this man to justice. The video shows the robber knock on the door, enter the store, and start threatening employees. You can see him holding a large rock behind his back. He then takes the money in the cash register and makes the girl working the store take down a camera, but it's too late. The camera gets a direct shot of the man's face. One of the employees who was there during the robbery said it was an awful experience.
He was very demanding, and then as soon as I could smell the liquor on his breath, that's when I immediately got terrified, because I was like, what can he do?
The owner of the coffee stand told me that after the last robbery, she added another employee at closing time. Now she plans to install panic buttons that connect directly to the police department to get help here faster. Live in Yakima, Chris Luther, NBC Right Now.
Thank you, Chris. Well, it's a beautiful start to the week for all of you that love being outdoors, but you may want to make sure you don't have any stuff in your yard that could get Shane blown away.
Right, actually there's a bit of a fire danger out there. Let's check in with Tim Adams now for the latest on that. Hi, Tim.
Well, hello there, Shane and Meredith. Yeah, beautiful summertime conditions, although we know when it gets hot and it gets dry like this and then the winds come up, we have those high fire dangers out there. On our satellite and radar, you can see a few high clouds coming into the region. There's some moisture on the other side of the Cascades, and with that marine layer coming in, we set up very strong pressure differences over the region and have red flag warnings out. So for much of our region, all the way up through the Kittitas, Yakima valleys, even down to north central Oregon and the mid-Columbia, red flag warnings tonight, and they could be reissued again tomorrow. Gusty winds, some blowing dust at times, but no showers out there. I'm back in a couple of minutes and we can talk about that extended outlook. Meredith?
Thanks, Tim. Northwest news, about 200 families can now return home as firefighters continue to battle two fast-moving forest fires near Bend, Oregon. This is a time-lapse video of the Two Bulls fire, which has burned more than 6,000 acres. Firefighters have set up containment lines. However, 50 families are still under evacuation. Hot and windy weather initially fueled the fires, but calmer conditions overnight have helped firefighters gain the upper hand. Investigators say they believe the fires were human-caused. A 20-year-old veteran of the Yakima Fire Department is named the next fire chief. Since January, Bob Stewart has served as interim chief following Dave Wilson's retirement. After evaluating his performance, city manager Tony O'Rourke has decided Stewart will be the next chief. Stewart will officially be sworn in at the June 17th Yakima City Council business meeting.
A traffic alert tonight. The city of Yakima will shut down part of 40th Avenue for the next few nights to work on the city's drinking water system. The city will close 40th Avenue between Lincoln and Summit View Avenue overnight until Wednesday. Now that work is scheduled from 8 in the evening until 6:30 in the morning. The city says the drivers should use alternate routes if possible or prepare for delays. New at 6 tonight, a road construction project in Kennewick's designed to make traffic flow better once it's completed. But right now, big trucks are taking alternate routes through busy neighborhoods to avoid that road work. People who live nearby say they're scared for the kids that play outdoors. We'll hear from them tonight at 6.
It's a confluence of the Yakima River, or the Columbia River, and a lake far away in Sicily. Back in 1943, a World War II soldier rode in a military transport vehicle called a duck through heavy fire in Italy. Jump ahead 70 years, and that same veteran comes face to face with another duck, this time a passion of the Tri-City Military Vehicle Club. Tracy Dial takes us along for the ride. That battle Ken Brown talked about was part of Sicilian Operation Husky in the Mediterranean. That was the first time American forces ever used ducks in battle. Oh, we have much more ahead tonight. A new type of blanket takes snuggling to a whole new level.
That's because it can withstand tornado debris and even bullets from a handgun. Find out how you can get your hands on one coming up.
Hello there again, my friend. I'm back with a little bit more detailed information about what's going on with that crazy weather out there. First,
in tonight's Consumer Alert, a new blanket could give kids a better chance at surviving a tornado or even gunfire.
An Oklahoma company has created what they call a bodyguard blanket. The blanket is a 1/4 inch thick bulletproof pad with backpack-like straps. It allows users to put it on and then duck and cover. Now, the blankets cost about $1,000 a piece. They are available online at the website bodyguard.com. Well, make sure you're watching out for potential scams this summer. If you're renting a beach house or any kind of home, make sure that it actually exists. The website USA.gov says it's important to research the owner or the rental company and to check maps and read the lease carefully. Also, they suggest paying with an online payment service or credit card so that you can dispute charges if it becomes necessary.
Amazon is expanding its role in e-commerce. Today, the online retail giant launched a new service that allows the company's 240 million active users, that is, to use credit card details stored on Amazon.com to pay for services such as a monthly phone bill or a digital music subscription. Users will have to pay a fee for each transaction. The service is expected to rival eBay's PayPal. And if you're looking to win some prizes from local businesses, we have some great big giveaways to tell you about. Right now, we're giving away one free massage every month for an entire year. It's through Elite Chiropractic and Massage in Kennewick, and it's worth a total of $750. To enter, just visit our website at NBCRightNow.com and click on the Great Big Giveaway icon. You'll need to fill out the entry form with your name, email address, and phone number. We're actually giving away prizes every 2 weeks, so you'll need to enter into each giveaway separately. How nice is that?
Played softball yesterday, a doubleheader. I think I could use one of those.
Right?
Massages.
I think I could just use one in general every month. So relaxing.
Sure. Up next in tonight's Health Alert, new information on patients battling or recovering from breast cancer.
Doctors say many aren't getting the exercise they need to improve their recovery. We'll explain next.
In tonight's Health Alert, physical activity is known to benefit breast cancer survivors, but a new study finds that many patients may not be getting enough exercise.
Researchers studied the activity levels of more than 1,700 women both before and after their breast cancer diagnosis. About 60% decreased their daily exercise within 6 months of being diagnosed. African American women were even less likely to meet physical activity guidelines after diagnosis, a group that generally has higher breast cancer mortality rates.
From the FordCountry.com Sports Studio, this is an SWX Sports Update.
In a grueling 162-game baseball season, it's important.
Finally tonight, the audience was amused, but the sardines, not so much.
A diver at a South Korean aquarium put on an underwater soccer performance today to show support for the national team at the 2014 World Cup. Sardines scattered as the diver kicked the ball around while underwater. There you go. Of course it would scatter, right? Well, the World Cup tournament kicks off Thursday in Brazil. We can call that
impressive he can do all that underwater.
Right? Should be the underwater cup.
Oh, little bicycle kick there. Not
That
bad.
could take off. That really could. Hey, weather-wise out there, man, we have high fire dangers and red flag warnings out pretty much, you can see, for the entire region. So be extremely cautious overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Still on the breezy side tomorrow out there.
All right.
All right, the temperature's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, they are.
All right, thanks, Tim. We'll be back at 6 with more local news. Nightly news is up next.
Bye.